President also congratulating Congresswoman Cammack, Republican from Florida, on the formation of the Republican Women's Caucus. And more importantly, let's be honest, another big announcement.
And I especially want to recognize the leaders of the brand new Republican Women's Caucus. Senator Katie Britt, again, Katie, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Great job you do. And Representative Cammack, who just announced a new baby girl.
There you go. The Congresswoman telling Speaker Johnson, quote, "Don't worry, margins are fine. I'm due in August." With us now here on the Hill, Congresswoman Cammack joins us live. Thanks for coming over here, first off.
Absolutely.
Nice to be with you, and congratulations
Thank you.
on that announcement today. So, first off, let's get into the event over at the White House and this new caucus, this Republican Women's Caucus. What are you trying to do? What do you hope to accomplish there?
So it's pretty stunning that we have never had an official Republican Women's Caucus.
Okay.
Now, I served as the bipartisan Women's Caucus chair last Congress. And I will tell you that I was actually voted down when we tried to take an official position on protecting women and girls sports.
Okay.
That was really the wake-up call for me, that women across the country who feel like they have not had a voice needed to have some sort of platform where their issues could be heard, because American issues are women's issues. We are not single-issue voters. We care about a whole host of things, and that's what this caucus is going to do, elevate the voices and issues of women across the country.
The president, though, is underwater, at least in the latest polling when it comes to women. Favorability, -14 in a latest YouGov poll. Women on the direction of the country, only 28% say we're on the right track. Why?
Well, listen, I just left an event at the White House with women from all across the country, and certainly back home, and when I travel, I hear from women who say they love what the president is doing because he's taking dangerous criminals off of the streets that are in our community.
How do you square those numbers then?
Listen, we saw polling in the election that said that he wasn't going to win. We saw polls that had Kamala Harris up, and look, he swept all 7 swing states. I have very little faith in polls these days, if we're being honest, because let's remember that famous Iowa poll that showed that he was, that's right, that was dramatically incorrect. So again, I just go off of what people around the country are saying, and they like the common sense agenda that the president is putting forward.
So you made the joke there to the Speaker of the House, don't worry, I'm due in August, the margins are fine.
Yes.
The reality is, for all women, that at some point doctors advise them, don't fly. And then you have your child, God willing, everything's fine, you stay home with the baby, and then you go back to work at some point in time. There is in Congress right now your colleague, Brittany Pedersen, from a Democrat from Colorado. The proxy voting for new parents resolution, Anna Paulina Luna and Young Kim, both Republican women, have co-sponsored it. I don't believe that you're on the legislation as a co-sponsor. Will that change in your view? Do you plan to co-sponsor that? And do you think that the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, should take it up? It would basically say that parents who have just given birth to a child or have just brought a child into the world should be allowed, members of Congress, should be allowed to have somebody else vote for them in the first 12 weeks after that child is born.
You know, it's an interesting dynamic in that I will be the 14th woman ever in the history of Congress to give birth.
It's wild when you think about that. And that's why this is a thing, right?
Right, and now it's just becoming a thing because we've, as clearly evidenced by the fact I'm number 14, we have never had to contend with this. And I will say during COVID, I did not vote proxy once. So we have some constitutional issues to work out. But as we are seeing more women step into this role of being federal legislators and leaders, we need to adapt. So I'm having those conversations with Representative Luna and Peterson, and of course with the Speaker. I think that there's going to be a path forward. So we want to see more women involved, and that means that we have to make adjustments.
It adjusts. So it's if I hear you right, it's about time to move forward with this.
Yeah, considering that there have been 12,000 members of Congress and only 400 plus have been women, I'd say we have some work to do.
Here was the president today on IVF, on fertilization, one of the things that he had to say.
I'm still very proud of it. I don't care. I'll be known as the fertilization president, and that's okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. I've been called much worse.
The president signed an executive order a few weeks or so ago, right, on IVF. But I wonder from your perspective, Congresswoman, and what you think needs to be done here potentially legislatively? Because executive orders, as you know, they blow with whoever comes into the Oval.
Absolutely. Well, first, I have to give a shout out to my co-chair in the Senate, Senator Katie Britt. She has been a champion on IVF, and she was really the impetus behind the IVF executive order.
Okay.
Codifying this is critically important. Senator Rick Scott and I have a resolution. The thing that we need to do is stop kowtowing to the extremist voices in our caucus on both sides. I've had colleagues who say it should be illegal. As a millennial and as a woman in Congress, I have friends that I grew up with that are undergoing IVF. Families across the country rely on IVF to grow, to start, to expand their families. So this is something that Congress, by and large, bipartisanly supports. We're going to codify this and make it so that not only is there access, but we're going to be expanding health savings accounts and making so that it's actually affordable for families.
We'll leave it there. Congresswoman Cammack, a couple big announcements today.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the ladder.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.